Hey, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital. This is the nightly strategy podcast for December 23rd, 2022. That's going to be abbreviated. I'm a little under the weather. This is just a recap of the sniper trade of the day in Devon Energy. There's your OR3. This is your OR3 after a bit of a gap up. It broke out to the top quickly, reversed for a -1. I stopped and reversed, playing back to the close. It moved down one bar sharply and started moving back up. When I realized this one would pay for that one, I just cut it and got back to the zero state. Waited for it to settle down and took a COTA 2 entry as the RL10 held above the river. And we got about 2R on that one after a 1-2-3 exit. On the PSAR flip, I got short, took a 0.3 loss, stopped and reversed. Did nothing until we got timed out with the PSAR. Let it settle. I noticed that it had failed to follow through, so when it broke the PSAR again, it got short with the standard risk box. It failed to fail, so I took this as a stop and reverse. It gave a little fraction. Let it settle down again. Took the next COTA 2 up, and that gave about 1R. So this was a total of about 2.5R for the day. This was mostly everybody going home for Christmas, so it wasn't much to look at. We will see that reflected in the 30-minute charts after the little gap down. Really not much of a move at all on the 30-minute chart. On the daily chart, looking back 30 days, an inside day that closed well, but still a 382. The 30-day low is very vulnerable. It has to get above 406 to be interesting, or 410 if you want to play the 30-day high. So this is all noise. This is all noise and tactical space in here, but this is a real vulnerability to the downside if that breaks. In the 150-day look back, we're stuck right in the middle of a fence sitter with regular volatility on the 5-day. So just a quiet Christmas holiday. Excuse me. In the regression line fractals, I would just note that the 10 and 30 are coming together for a critical state here, right at the PSAR. I'm sorry, that's the 3-day. Wrong one. Here we go. Yeah. This is the daily. So the 30 and the 10 have crossed the 90. But if it holds here above the flattened out 270, then you can argue that this could end up being a COTA 2. So the only thing going for it is the longer term goodness of the RL90, which has flattened out the 270. So you got tactical weakness, but you may have an embedded support level right there. Excuse me. Wasn't much to see in the sectors today. The S&P was up 0.6. You had the pardon me, the metals and the semis all basically underneath the S&P. The only standouts, Devon and Alcoa, which had a little bit of a pull today. So the energy is still showing good with Devon and oil exploration. For the traders today, Satya did a nice job in Devon. He got about what I got. He didn't get chewed up in this opening range 3. But he did take a couple measured wins and a couple scratches for 1.5 on a really a low volatility, choppy kind of day. Kyun was working with trying to expand his span of control, which is tough to do on a day where there's not much movement because nothing stands out. So everything gets started and then fails. So I wouldn't call this a bad day at the office. I would just say start the day with one and then shift off that if it's not working. In my screen, I keep my master list here, and then like you might try this with 4 symbols, and then one trading window that's large. If you're just using one screen, if you're using 2 screens, you could make that 8 little thumbnails, and then one large one or 2 large ones to trade off of on the second screen. And that way you can see large patterns, put charts of interest into the intermediate thumbnails. Like I always have SPY and IWM and VXX and US Steel and Cliff and Devon, plus a couple other specials. And that way, whichever one is working, I can get it on the master trading window quickly. Pardon me. All right, that's everything I want to cover for tonight. The chop in U.S. Steel was about the same kinds of issues, although he did get, I think you got to be ready for that trade there in Tesla because it's the most important one and it gets so volatile. That could have actually made your day. And then I thought your technique in Apple was very good. You didn't get caught up in the chase here. You might have been a little slow, but the re-entry was good. Oh, that's all for me. I'm going to cover the weekend reports tomorrow when my sneezing is under control. I apologize for sneezing in your ear. Take good care, and we will see you tomorrow night with some swing trades.